Yeah, let's go.
All right, and my lab group's here. Let me see what I need to adjust.
I was getting paper. Oh my god. What's my desk? Oh,
You got Elizabeth, Tyler, Grace, Stella, Ellie, Derek, Lee, Eduardo was late. Just because there's no bell doesn't mean you get 7 minutes. Yavian.
What opening is this? 8?
This is 9. I collect tomorrow. Joseph, anybody seen Joseph today?
No.
Okay. Mario's back today. Trevor's here. Jose's here. Liliana and Niles. We're missing Derek and Joseph. Alright, so I need to adjust and take Derek and Joseph out of the group and move Mario. And everybody else is here. This is my groups. Just had to move Mario into a group.
What?
Yeah, for the lab today. I told you I was picking groups today. They're groups of 3. And I was choosing. We done? All right, I can stop reading the news, I suppose. All right, which guy is traveling? Huh?
What's he reading about?
Apparently Lindsey Vonn crashed in a race today. She's a downhill skier. She's retiring this weekend, her last race. She crashed. All right, which guy is traveling at the fastest and the slowest speed? How would you find it? What do we have to do if this is on your test at the end of the week?
Subtract
Subtract what?
the distance and time.
Subtract the distance and the time?
Like, not together, but all the ones.
Okay, so tell me what I do for the first guy. Tell me what I do to actually calculate it.
Like over the final time, right?
Okay, so actually tell me the numbers, Nigel. For guy one.
30.
Just tell me the numbers to write down.
15 plus 40.
All right, you said subtract though, so why'd you say plus?
I didn't need to say that.
Okay, so instead of saying 15 plus 40, say,
40 minus 50.
yeah, that's it. So 40 minus 15, because you have two distances. All right, so does everybody see he said the two distances? So he said 40 minus 15, because he had two distances, so he's subtracting. And then what do you do with the time? Put it underneath, because the formula is speed equal distance divided by time. Okay, my D looks a little rough there, but that's distance. All right, so what is that? 25 over 3? So what's 25 over 3? What'd y'all get?
8.3.
8.3? All right, so I'm going to write 8.3 over here at guy 1. All right, so for guy 2, tell me what I do for guy 2, Najaya. Tell me my numbers for guy 2.
Okay.
75 minus what?
2.
Okay, and over what time?
2.
So what's that, 65 over 2? What do I get for him? Okay, so 32.5. All right, and then for guy 3, how about you? You ready? What do I have for my numbers on guy 3? 35 minus 10, and what's my time there? 5. All right, so who's my fastest guy? Who's my fastest, Isela? Guy 2, and who's my slowest guy? Guy 3. All right, everybody okay with guy 2 being the fastest because it has the biggest number, and guy 3 being the slowest guy because it has the smallest number? Which guy is traveling at the fastest speed? The one with the biggest number is the fastest, and the one with the smallest number is the slowest.
I thought the one with the lowest number.
That's what I was thinking, because it's like,
No. He went the greatest distance and the least amount of time. So this guy right here is the fastest. It's like when you look at your speedometer and you see 50 and you see 5, which one is faster, the 50 or the 5? The 50. So that speed is faster than the 5. So 32.5 is faster than the 5. Okay? So guy 2 is the fastest and 5 is the slowest. Okay, so it's just like looking at a speedometer or when you're looking at your car and I saw you drive in the parking lot, so I know you drive, right? When you look down and you're going 35 down Main Street, you know you're going faster than it says 20, right? So you look down and you go, oh, the speed says 20. I'm going 35. I'm going faster than I'm supposed to be going, right? So when you see 32.5, that's a bigger number. That's faster than 5. 5 is a slower number. Okay? So number 2, tell me what I'm going to do here. What do you think, Tyler? Tell me what you think about that question.
You add 3 times the distance.
Okay, so 3 plus 10 is the distance. So 13, what unit? Okay. All right, so tell me what you think about displacement. Okay, why did you decide to do that? I'm not saying it's wrong. Just tell me what your thought process was. Because what? Yeah, but why? What about the question said to you, I need to use the Pythagorean theorem? We were talking about this yesterday in 4th period, and everybody was like, well, how do you know? So what told you that you knew that? Huh? Yeah, how did you know to use it, though? They were trying to figure out, well, when do you know to subtract? When do you know to use the Pythagorean theorem, Ms. Wall? Okay. All right, so when you read and you look at directions, okay, north, south, east, west. What does your directions tell you there?
Walk 3 miles south and then 10 miles west.
Okay, so when you go south and west, okay, south and west, what kind of angle do you wind up with when you go south and west? A what? A right angle, okay? That's why you knew you were using the Pythagorean theorem. That's what I was trying to get you to tell me. You had a right angle there because you went south and west, okay? So the point I'm trying to make is, let's say on the test, I told you you went 10 miles north, okay? You went 10 miles north, and then you went 3 miles south. What would you do if you went 10 miles north and 3 miles south? Would you have to use the Pythagorean theorem there? No. What would you do there? You would just subtract because you don't have the what? You don't have a right angle there. Does everybody see the difference in those two questions? Okay. I just wanted to make sure everybody did. So Tyler said to use 10 and 3 and use the Pythagorean theorem. So you use 10 squared plus 3 squared equals c squared. So what is that, 109? Equals c squared. So what's the square root of 109? 10.04 or 10.4? 10.4. Whoops, looks terrible. All right, so 10.4 miles. Everybody okay with that? All right, so, and number 3. What'd you think there, Diavion? It's a great question. Well, thank you. I'm glad I wrote a great question. All right. Any ideas what to do to solve it? Okay. Grace, turn around and leave Nigel's hands alone. I don't know who it is. I don't know how to answer it. Decline. Probably going to tell me my car insurance is about to run out or some crap. Warranty's about to run out. All right. What do we do there? Grace, did you raise your hand? What do you think?
Yeah, you do 1600 over 6.
Okay, so just give me the numbers. Tell me what you're doing since Diavion's like, it's a great question this fall. So what process are you trying to do?
We need to find the speed of both of them.
Okay, so she's telling you to find the speed on Monday and the speed on Tuesday, and then to find the 2 speeds, and then you can subtract them. Does that make sense? Okay, so she's got the speed for Monday, the speed for Tuesday, and then it says how much did her speed increase, so that's why Grace said to subtract them. Okay, so if we do that, Serenity ran. Serenity's still here. She graduated last year. I wrote this when Serenity was running track in my class. All right, 1,600 meters. Serenity Davis. 1,600 meters divided by 6 minutes. Okay? And that was Monday. And then we have to turn around and calculate it on Tuesday. All right? Calculator speed. All right, so she ran the same 1,600, and she did it in that much time on Tuesday. Now, these weren't real times because Randy was really fast.
Oh, she was.
Yes, Randy was really fast. All right, so 1,600 divide 6, and we get 266.6. And then 1,600 divide 5.4, and we get 296.2. All right, so those are her two speeds. Now, once we know her two speeds, now we can figure out how much her speed increased by doing what? By subtracting them. Okay? So, now we can take what Grace said, and I'm just going to use the whole numbers. So, 296 subtract 266. 296 subtract 266, and I get 30. Now, my units for that are what? I gave meters and minutes. So meters over minutes. Questions? Now, that should be opening 9, right? So that means tomorrow I'll be collecting all 10. If you've been absent, you're required to make up what you've missed. Okay? So they're in the opening notebook over there behind Markel if you're missing one. Okay? It's not optional. Now, do you have your homework from last night?
Yeah.
Did you show work or did you just write down numbers? Huh? Did you show work or did you just write down numbers? You ain't got it because you weren't here.
Oh, we was short.
Yeah, you're supposed to show work. I'll be nice. Pull it out. Let me see.
What, Jose?
Okay.
I didn't want to.
Oh,
Come on, you're right. Come on.
All these are.
Maybe you have to show one up.
That's all.
what do you have two speeds there? You just wrote B.
Because I don't know. I want to.
How you doing? I'm not of old age here.
I'm going.
Tyler, you got yours. No, you're just writing down crap.
No.
Yes, you are. You're right as I'm coming by. I'll give you 50. And that's any time. I get 50 for those. Do you have any?
He's gonna go. Is this?
No. You're not all done. You know
Go
where
around.
that one done.
But I still feel.
You got two speeds you're supposed to have there.
Just what I
I told you 80. What you got? You got something written down. What about you, Grace?
I have work this in.
That's not an excuse. It's not an excuse at all. It's not an excuse.
Well, at least you're honest. I like honesty.
Two whole period. And club there. I put mine in the folder. Like, I'll be organized.
Take that, you can put it up.
That's all I heard.
It doesn't matter. Put it up. Alright, what's wrong? Oh, okay, you just have to move there a little further.
What's one shot?
Crap.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out the flavor.
That I don't know. I told you, I always knew last year because Raul brought his in during class, but You know, I don't have him now to check out the flavor of the crap. What's wrong with 7?
Yesterday was a holiday.
Right.
Yours up. Some different colors here.
I heard we're supposed to get snow again sometime. I heard you're supposed
The
to.
almanac calls for it in February, but,
You ain't gonna talk
you
to me.
know.
You ain't gonna talk to me like that.
Okay,
You just right now.
They fight. Fight.
Y'all find the only thing I'm gonna do is tell people to stand back, stay out of the way so you don't get hurt. I already fell off a sidewalk, spent 4 months in rehab, and still doing exercises at home.
Because people was fighting.
Did you see a sidewalk near me and fall off?
Wait, no one said that. You didn't say it was in you. She's coming out of Walmart, people are just fighting, and she's like, oh no, the sidewalk.
Sidewalk just jumped up and bit me. No, I didn't fall off the sidewalk because of a fight.
She was fighting the sidewalk.
It wasn't a legit sidewalk. It was a ramp for cars and hand trucks. It was an auto parts store. My husband sent me to it to get a part to fix his windshield wiper for his 18 wheel.
So they was just.
It was not marked, there was no paint, there was no little bubbles, there was no sign that said it was a ramp. And I went to cut across it to go to my car. I did not know that it was cut out. I've had many people tell me that, but no, I did not sue them. So I cut across it to go to my car. I did not know that it was a ramp or wasn't supposed to be there. That is exactly my point. It should have had some yellow on it or some bubbles. Well, that would have been great if I wasn't there, but I did not know that. I cut across it, I tripped over it, and down I went in the parking lot. And unfortunately, I broke my wrist in 2 places, and it healed fine. I mean, it healed up. I have a slight deformity, but unfortunately, because my therapist says the cast was too tight, I am clumsy, which is also a problem. However, I still cannot make a fist all the way, and I cannot bend my hand forward or backwards with full rotation. So, I'm still trying to I can now at least open a bottle of water on my own without asking for assistance. Took me probably 3 months to get there. Now, if you look at question 1, it says, how far did car A travel before it met car B? Now, car A met car B here. Can we all agree on that?
Yes.
All right, where did car A start? Did not start at Walmart. It started here. Now, what have we been saying all along when you had 2 distances? What do you do with that? You subtract them. Now, it would be great if we could say that they met here and it started here, so we could just say 40 and 0 and subtract from there to there. But that's not where car A started. Where did car A start? It started at 20. So up here, when you answer your question, you would have to say 40 minus the 20, and you would get an answer of 20 kilometers, okay? Because it didn't start at 0. It started at 20, and it went to 40. That's why it's not 40, okay? Now, how long had the 2 cars been traveling before they met? Now, we can all agree they met here, right? Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to move you from where Nigel's sitting. Come up here and sit in front of Markel.
No, don't punish me. What did I do?
I'm not punishing you. I'm just moving Grace.
Exactly.
All right? So, All right, what is that number there? What is that going to be? All right, I'm going to write 0.5 there so we don't have to keep asking that question over and over today. So 0.5, where did both cars start at time-wise?
0.
So they started at 0. They met at what? So 0 minus 0.5 is what? All right, or just 0.5 because we're not going to have any negative numbers. So they've been traveling 0.5, and the unit is hours. And the unit is always right here on the axis, so that's where I got the hours from. Okay, everybody okay with where I got the unit?
Yeah.
All right. Now, how far did both cars travel at the same speed? Now, what do we look at for both cars to travel at the same speed? Where the lines do what? Where they've crossed and they're together, right? So they're together at the same speed, okay? Right here is where they are at the same speed, okay? That's where they're the same speed. So, how far did they travel at the same speed? Well, where is this point at right here? What's the distance at that point? Okay, so that's 40. All right, and what distance is that at? All right, so how do I find the distance they traveled at the same speed? Subtract. Okay, so we say 80 minus 40 is 40 kilometers. Now, how long did it take both cars to get to point C? Well, where did they start at? They started at 0. Put that up. All right, they started at 0. That's where both cars are at. And where is point C at? Okay, everybody okay with 1.5? All right, so you can write 1.5. That would be hours. Or you can write 90 minutes. Some people write it that way. I never understand why, but it means the same thing. So you can do it that way. But most people write 1.5 hours. All right. Now, which car had constant speed? What do you look for to be constant speed? How do you straight line? So which one's completely straight? A. So car A is the one that's at constant speed. Now, they want you to find the speed of car A and then the two speeds of car B. Now, to do this, you just need 2 points on the line so you can subtract the distances and the times. Now, the thing that I would tell you to do is find points that you can easily read, like this point. You can read the distance as what here? What's the distance of that point? 20. What's the time of that point? 0. Now, would this be a good point to read? No, it's not at a crosshair, okay? This would be a good point to read. It's at 40, and the time is what? 0.5. This would be a good point to read. See how it's at a crosshair? You can read over, and its distance is 60, and what's the time that goes with that point right there? It would be 1. You want to find points on the line that are good points, okay? You can go all the way to the end of the line if you want and get the 80 and get the 1.5. My point is it doesn't matter what 2 points you pick. You just need to pick 2 points that are easy to read, okay? So, what points do you like? Pick 2. Malik, pick 2 points on that line you like.
50 and 0.8.
All right, the 0.8 is going to be right here, and we're going to have to estimate. That is not a good point. Pick something that's at a crosshair. So when you look up here, you want to pick something. See how 0.8 is like right here, and it's at a crosshair? Like if we pick 60, 60 is here. It's at a point that's at a crosshair, and we can read down at 1.0. That would be a good point to pick. Does that make sense? Okay, it's an easy one. All right, and pick another one over there, Jaya. That's a good one for Malik. Okay, how about the one that you labeled 40?
Oh, yeah.
This one, okay, because it's at 40, and then what does it read down to? 0.5. That one would be okay. Okay, so if we use those 2 points, all right, now just write out here to the side. So you picked 60, and its time at 60 was 1.0, and then the 40 had 0.5. Okay, so anytime you have two distances, what do you do with them? So 60 minus 40 over, what do I do with these 2 times? The 1.0 minus 0.5. So 60 minus 40 is 20. 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5. So when you divide 20 divided by half, I think that's 40. Let me punch it out in the calculator, check my math. See if I'm right. Is that 40?
Yeah.
All right, so that's 40 kilometers per hour. All right. So that means this line is 40 kilometers per hour. All right. So answer to 6 is 40 kilometers per hour. And that means this line right here for car A is 40 kilometers per hour. Now, what does that tell us about number 7? That means one of those speeds is also what? 40 kilometers per hour. So I've already answered one of the questions. So I need to do which piece of the line? I need to do this piece of the line right here. I need to find this speed down here that I did in blue. That's the piece I need now to find the speed of. Because this piece we just did. So, can you give me 2 points that would be good for this piece of the line? Well, what's this point right here? What's that distance? 40. And what's its time? 0.5. How about this point? And what's its time? Okay, so its two distances would be what? 40, subtract. I hear it out there. Say it like you mean it. All right, what's my time? So 40 divided by 0.5 is 80. So your second answer would be 80 kilometers per hour. Now, I've told you this already. You will see one of these on your test. You will have to read a graph. It is part of the free response.
I have a question.
Yes.
You have a low shape.
Yeah. Sweet pea. Hey, people give me stuff I don't like at Christmas. This is where it winds up. Hey, Markel, get one of those to everybody. I got to pull out stuff here. Go let you mess with it earlier. We got 5 groups. 6. I think that'll get us going with stopwatches for right now. All right, I think we got all the equipment we need. I keep it put up first period since I share a room, so nobody messes with it. All right, if we look at your lab sheet, we're in groups of 3 today. All right, you're going to take your car and you're going to measure the distance and the time it takes to travel. Now, let me explain how this works. You're only trying to pick your heads up, so you know what you're doing. You're in groups of 3 only because you have a stopwatch, a car, and a measuring tape to operate today. And it will take all your hands to do this, okay? Give me 2 people who can hold this on the floor for me. I really need 3 people. Can I get 3 volunteers?
Okay.
Any 3 people, it doesn't matter who. Yeah, these do that. Ah. Get on the floor. Here, get the car. Now, first of all, measuring tape. Y'all got to hold it on the floor stretched out. Now, the measuring tape has inches and centimeters. Okay? So, you need to make sure the centimeter side is showing up. All right? On the floor. You're going to have a car on the floor. Now, the first thing I would ask is, do the ladies have centimeters showing? They have inches showing, so flip it over. Why don't you look over there at?
Oh!
You got all this basketball energy for later. What team do y'all play?
No.
Okay, about here would be good. So they can see what y'all are doing. All right, so we got centimeters. All right, Markel has the car. It has a trusty little, let me borrow this for a second, gas tank. He's going to pull the string out. Y'all are not going to rev the engine to make the wheels spin because these are very old. They're about, I'm just guessing, about 20 years old at this point. And I cannot buy these for under $5 anymore, okay? So, when it's time to let this go, all right, you're going to put the front of the car at the front of the measuring tape where the avion is, and then we're going to time it from the front of the measuring tape to the end of the measuring tape when it clears my Jay's hand. You're not going to measure and chase this car across the room, okay? The stopwatch is very simple. Don't drop it, they break easily. From start, stop, reset button. It says it on here. Start, stop, reset. You can sit down, it's fine. They can move forward every day. Okay? And some of you may need to do that. You may put tape on the floor, provided you get the tape off the floor. You don't want a bunch of tape left on my floor. Start, stop, and reset. Okay? Somebody's going to have to manage the only one piece of tape, by the way. All right? Manage the measuring tape, manage the car, manage this. Now, you got it? Ready to go? All right, come on. Y'all got to do all this and get it all done by the bell. All right, so when I look at this, the first thing I notice is you have the car all the way down here, halfway across the measuring tape. Move that back so it's at the very beginning of the measuring tape. Okay? Ready? You got to tell me when to start.
Started.
Now. And then I hit stop as it passes the end of the measuring tape. Now, I can tell you that this did not stop when it passed the end of the measuring tape, so I would have needed to redo this, okay? I did look down and I have a vague idea of where it was. All right, so let me tell you how to write your times down. Because some of you will do this wrong. That little car is getting seriously old. He used to do this in about 1 point something seconds.
Let it go.
That was pretty slow today.
With fine prayers, let me be great. I stopped it.
Be kind to those cars. They're old.
I stopped it.
Okay. All right. So it has 0.0406. You're going to write that down as 4.06 seconds when you write it down on your paper. Okay. Now you need to hit reset. It says reset here, and just push and it will reset. Everybody got it?
Okay.
Now you're going to do 5 trials according to the paper. Now, if you get one that's messed up like that, don't count it. Hit reset and redo it. Sometimes they're going to veer off the path. Hit reset, do it again. Okay? You're in groups of 5. Sorry, groups of 3. There are 5 groups. There's one group of 4, because Mario's here today, and his other 2 group mates didn't show up.
Are we allowed to do stopwatch on it?
No, he won't be anymore accurate. If all my stopwatches break, then yes, but since we have these, no. All right, Markel, Tyler, and Malik are together. Okay? Trevor, Eduardo, and Jose are together. Yareli, Ajaya, and Isela are together. Diavion, Grace, and Otanel are together. Elizabeth, Liliana, Nigel, and Mario are together. I put you in 2 groups?
No, I thought you would say
No,
my
Nigel. All right. Any questions about your groups?
No.
All right. The cars, the stopwatches, and the measuring tapes. Your group has all your stuff. All right. You have 1 spot is here. 2 groups can be through here. 1 group back by the door. And 1 group back there. That'll give us 5 areas. Okay?
Get up with Kathy now.
We should have no trouble finishing this by about 1:30.
End of the period.
No, I was thinking 1:30.
The end of the.
Round up your people.
Where's my group?
Where I want to go.
My group.
I'm coming.
Hey, oh yeah, where are you
Where are your stuff?
Okay, you gotta do the time and.
We already have all this
Trying to say that. I was like, where's she going?
Yeah, you can use one piece of tape so that the person with the measuring tape is only holding one end. But remember, you gotta get the tape off my floor.
You sat down in your position.
Yeah.
Where's tapes up here on my desk. Yeah.
So we know we already
broke off.
What broke off?
3, 2,
Oh, bring it here. Tape it back up.
I stopped before it was.
Stop. The measuring tapes are probably 20 years old too.
Was it
We're a poor school.
20?
You can't buy new measuring tapes. We're broken. Here's some tape, people.
Aren't you guys like $900,000?
Yeah, we're $900,000 in debt. I mean, they stole my paper towels for God's sake.
They're like, no, we gotta tell you back more.
152 meters. You got
Speed is.
Lucky, listen to the ones that
Oh, make sure you're on the time.
broken, that's why.
Oh, no, we already. I'll go down with it.
now y'all knew y'all. I just want to do it.
Yeah. One, do that again, my finger missed.
Okay, so we're going to do five.
Why are you doing that so hard? I'm just curious.
Okay, what are you supposed to do?
Hard, 3, 2, 1, go. I did not say that was me. Y'all blame a lot of things on me. 1.30.
Okay, you can do it. Whoever.
That's for the distance, right?
No,
I mean, that's
time.
time.
1.8.
So what?
1.6.
Okay, this was like this.
1.3.
So let's.
Your cars don't go in a straight line, Miss Wall.
All the way to.
I told you that. They should come close to a straight line.
It went left.
Wall.
Oh,
So our distance.
if it keeps doing it, get a different car.
Our distance is.
And I'll just keep that sign.
What's the end?
Is it 152?
Yeah, point.
So we write 152. That's the same distance?
Yeah, but it says 152, but it's got another centimeter beyond. What's this?
So it's 153.
What are you talking about?
What's the distance, guys?
152.1.
Really?
Yeah.
It says 152, but isn't there another centimeter beyond?
No. Right on the 50 and beyond.
What's this?
Would it be like 153?
So would it be 152.1?
Would you want 153?
So these are.
So, to be correct.
It's 153.
Wait,
It just doesn't have the number written, but there's another centimeter beyond that.
Oh, I see.
0.0175.
Do you have a 1 in front of 75?
Yeah.
1.75.
Okay, so
hold on. Give me a sec. I'm coming. Okay, now one. Oh, okay.
that one faster.
Might as well do that. So it's over 3 seconds.
159.
It's 116.
So, yeah,
179. You got that number, Grace?
You said 160?
Wait, 116 and 179.
What was the first one?
128, 1.5, 167. I'm gonna be trying.
Yeah.
If you had some defective cars, just go in there and donut.
Oh my God. Yeah, I might as well.
1.38.
3, 2, 1, 1, go. It didn't stop. Three,
Yeah, that was
2,
slow.
1, go.
Wait, 1.59.
One,
No, 1.59. Oh. I'm like, what are you
we're not just getting that far over here. As violent as possible.
Oh, 3, 2, 1, go. I got the same exact time.
You're way more than 5 thousand off the car. I'm not to call the manufacturer.
3, 2, 1, go. That was like,
This string is. Oh my God. This string. Keep going to listen. What was that?
I think I'm done doing this.
yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
3, 2, up. 3, 2,
Here.
1, go.
Mario.
1.7.
1.31.
The average distance, why don't we just add them all up and then?
And divide by,
I mean, I put it
How many are there?
back the furthest on the
Five.
right.
yes.
It was the average thing.
The last one's average.
Yeah. Who was saying baby?
What are you doing?
Singing a song. Well, we should play it.
You should.
You make some copies. Look, it's a little berry. Oh. Okay, now we have a track.
I'm not
Just all
sure
the
if
same
we're gonna
average.
add it all up or we're gonna go divide or if we're just gonna use the bottom. I feel like.
Miss Wall, my
Yeah.
average.
Use the bottom number, right? And not add them all up.
It's a check.
You're an average, you would add them all up and divide by the number you have.
Okay.
So, yeah, add them all up.
Wait. So when we find our speed, we're subtracting.
When you find the speed, you're doing distance divided by time.
And then the average, we add.
You got them all up and divide by the number you have, so add them all up and divide by 5.
153 is about 12.
Oh, I've got one.
92.7.
It'll be distance and distance. So what's your unit?
What
Hold on,
you
she's on time, right? Right, Angie? Yep. Okay.
That don't-
Do we add all the distances up?
Yeah, divide by
What else is there?
So a time when it's not right.
96.7.
I know, I was gonna fix it.
Like,
Okay,
is it like
let's check.
96.2? What wrong? I didn't have to do this one wrong.
You add it all up, it's
Yeah.
about 5, right?
Right, and that's what I got.
It's actually in the H.
Because that's how many times we did it.
Did you put it in H?
We never did do that. Yeah, but I'm not gonna criticize.
No, not in you.
Oh.
and then it's 110, 20. So just do 110 times 5.
It's 153.
110.
So there's only.
No, I mean, if they're all the same, the average is gonna be that.
And the last one's 136.
Wait, okay.
So then, add all these other
Okay.
divided by.
I was just asking you that, but I got it.
What you get to 44.
Yes.
That's 153.
Now,
Are you at 44?
it's divided by 5.
Yeah, what divided by 5? You divided.
I said 124.4.
Do we add up
No,
like
it's
all
right.
the distance?
Okay, I can't find it, so.
Yeah, you add all this up.
Oh, what's the number for it?
Okay, go ahead. Add them all, divide by 5.
Right, hit
my
my
elbow,
elbow like
like
earlier, and I'm looking
Yeah,
at scared
yeah,
because
my
I was like hit my arm. My arm got
So it's
70.
whatever.
Yeah.
Which is 153.
What's the time?
Doesn't add that either.
Wait, for number 2, right, we can just put like number 2.
The average for the distance is 153.
Yeah, the average one is.
Yeah.
Oh, so we don't add the distance?
We added the distance and we times it by 5 and we got 153.
No, like.
There's one.
Yeah,
How you spell wound up?
She added all the distance.
wound up, WOUND, and then up.
Okay, look, we added all of these and we got 765. Then we had to divide it by 5. The total. We got 153.
Oh.
That's what the
Like
guy
7 meters per second.
Oh, it says something.
She added it right there.
Miles per hour.
No, I'm talking about like, what you said, add them up. I thought you said like.
That's right, you can do all.
First of all,
What?
when you say add them up, do you mean, what are we adding up, each section or just a specific?
Like add up all the distances and then divide them by 5.
Oh.
And then add up all the times and divide those by 5. Apparently you and you really disagree.
No, it was me.
Okay.
I was right.
61 is 1.4. 1.4.
Well, when it says give 2 examples of units for speed, does it have to be metric units
I
or?
think we need to put units.
They can be either.
550 for that one, right? And what about the
Then how
band?
do you just do?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Because like, she went 55 miles an hour, right? She drove for 10 hours. That should be 65%.
How much is 8?
Wow.
8.5.
Like, it's off the top.
106.
Whenever you say draw a graph, right, you mean like for our specific one or for just what it looks like?
Generic.
Now,
The only one that has to be a specific graph is the very last question because I gave you specific numbers to work with.
That's what average looks like, right? Like Wendy.
How could this be? It got, lower. I put one for $59 for two of them,
Yeah.
Okay. Slower sometimes. Oh. Okay. So what do you put? No, I don't think it. Oh, okay. So I would put that because it did not a lot, but not much. Some, yeah, some kind of went up and down. Like the.
It's like, he go 30.
So
Yeah.
what factor?
Yeah.
He went another, so that means he's looking at 45.
Right, so you want to draw your first zero and go up, and then from that point, you want to go up and over. You don't want to start back down.
So I used to
Up and
like.
up and over, going from wherever you left off.
So like, that's not different. It's just like,
Yes, correct.
Would that be good?
What?
Like for number 2, when it said what factors would affect it, I would put
Do we have carpet?
like if like.
I want you to tell me what factors affected yours today. Like what things affected it right there when you guys are doing it. Yes, if we had carpet, that would be a good answer, but we don't actually have carpet.
Well, it's a fun building. It's cool, sir. They ain't clean the floors and stuff. That works. I guess these broken things. I think.
What was, for example, what was Trevor complaining about in the back of the room? What?
What was he complaining about? What were you complaining about?
were you like on the chair?
Yeah.
I pulled the cord and it would just go left.
Oh, so.
The car literally did a donut and I just pulled it.
Elizabeth B.
Oh, it kept going in the back.
And you got notes today again?
Yeah,
That's too much notes.
I've heard that before.
140. Yeah, 2 examples of you.
Every time it's done.
John Stool, same place we always turn it in.
We have any great oaks. Meters.
May I use the restroom?
Because it's in the chair.
Oh, no, that's okay.
No, divide, no? I think we can divide. It's not 3, no. No, I'm just, usually you have that. Divided by 56.25. 56.25. Yeah. So then county was 55.
Whatever that is. Be good at stupid discount.
Okay. Don't forget to label it for that number 6. That's the constitution.
I don't know, straight diagonal, like,
Yeah. And then average is like copying and.
you.
That's like. Charles, I got that. That was like 30. Okay, I'm gonna just label these. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do. 40. Okay. And then put this in count. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, this little gas thing.
And then for 15. Oh, I did it wrong. Okay, now, so it was 30.
He's from Europe. This is everybody's. I'm about to take notes. Oh my God, why are you writing on that?
I feel like I wrote the files on this side. I should have wrote it here. Mom is an hours, but it gave me this one. I think you.
Was that the last of them, or do I still have people working? Okay.
Yeah, it's fine, people walking through. Good.
Not sure I'm gonna have 20 more minutes for it. And Tyler, that was your last one, so the next time it's lunch tension. As long as you're good with it, I'm good with it. As long as you're good than I am. I'm here during lunch, so it doesn't matter to me.
What we doing now?
A couple people are still finishing their line.
Oh, so we waiting.
Yep, so if you're finished, you're just waiting.
All right.
Oh, it was.
The car ran for visitors like in 2006. I'll just send it to you. I used to do that with Taj, and then he stopped paying, so I quit and I bought my own. Like, right when after that,
I think I stopped it. Okay, it's in it's 30 for 2 hours.
I need great bread, bro.
And then 15 for 4. I need to go. I need to take a break. I think I still have the one on call.
Are y'all still working or?
We're trying to figure out how we draw the took a break.
You did a break for an hour, is it moving?
No, but I don't know where it is. Like,
You took a break, it's not moving.
so it's like this. No, for an hour. So it's right there.
And then I'm gonna do it. Wait, okay, see, like, that's how I was thinking.
So basically, it's a break.
Yeah.
No, because this is an hour. You know what? I'm asking this one. I am confused.
But it's, why is it going to actually
Yeah. I want to redraw your graph and lower it, for God's sakes.
That's why I think that.
Yeah, you can lower, because your first dot's up here is a question. So, and then you gotta add 15 more plus 2 more hours.
No. I didn't answer all the questions.
Oh, no, I got it.
Sit down before you ask me again.
How did?
Yeah, open it. Yeah, make sure you guys are straight. That's how we know.
Yeah.
I ain't got food.
I see. Did you say I see? Oh.
Stop.
Oh, yeah.
So, you still like it? What about football card? For real? You like football card? Like a lot? I mean, I like him too, but sometimes I'm listening to it. Man, I know. Are you like that? Or you like all his songs?
Store type thing.
You like all his songs? For real?
You know how they
I can't do it, man. Yeah, it's gonna be trash sometimes, I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
Be real. Travel straight, though. Go play one card. That's required. Yeah.
Alright, so did I get everybody's? Malik, you still working or do I have yours? Malik, you turned it in? Okay. I thought for some reason you still had one. No, I'll grade them later. It won't take me long to do them.
10 minutes left. Just check it.
Got 10 minutes left.
Right, you got to do this in 10 minutes.
I thought we would.
No, it's just.
wrong.
That's just chill stuff.
What do you mean? You don't know how to chill?
I do. I just typically do it at home, not here.
Is it on the website?
Is that on the website?
The website?
Right, tell us how you get the notes from home.
No one's gonna do that.
Right. And I'm sure, based on last night's homework experience, that you guys would all go home and take notes on the website.
I haven't done homework in like.
Some of y'all couldn't even manage to do a homework sheet.
Yeah, that's not.
I wrote stuff.
That is so not gonna happen.
I did mine, but I left it in the folder.
All right. So what if I put in a word problem about a headwind and a tailwind? Would y'all know what I was talking about?
Yeah.
What's a headwind? Okay. Okay, so does it blow against the plane or the car or against it to push it like behind it or in front of it? In front of it. So you try not to laugh at my poor ugly airplane here. You know, I'm not an art teacher for a reason. I can't draw people.
Weird Ford.
It looks like a gingerbread man without.
It looked like a.
I can't draw, okay? I don't teach art for a reason. All right?
It's gonna crash.
Oh my God.
It is going to crash. Okay? I don't teach art for a reason.
Well, what's the headwind?
All right, so a headwind would blow where on the plane? It'd blow at the head of the plane. So if we had a headwind, it would blow here, and the plane would travel this way. So based on what we were talking about when we were talking about velocities, and those of you who aren't taking any notes, Mario, put your phone up. This is where I teach. You don't play on your phone. All right. What would happen with your combining velocities? This is the last thing we were taking notes with. Okay. What would you do with combining velocities? Would they add or would they subtract? These would subtract. So if you had a velocity where, let's just say the plane was traveling at 600 miles per hour and the wind was blowing at 50 miles per hour, what would the headwind do to the plane?
Slow it down.
It would slow it down. Okay. So you would say 600 minus 50, and you would get 550 miles per hour. Now, if you got lucky, all right, and you were traveling, and again, can't draw, okay?
What is that?
I've got no space to draw, so I've got a worse
One
plan.
of them is like a circle, and the other one is not aerodynamic.
Trevor, get off my poor plane,
That looks like a cartoon arm that like.
okay?
Like
So my plane is still traveling at 600 miles per hour, okay? But this time, I'm going to give it a tailwind, okay? Now, what would the tailwind do to the plane if the wind was blowing at 50 miles an hour? It would speed it up. So this time, I would say what? 600 plus the 50, and I'd get 650 miles per hour. Now, have any of you ever gone to pick somebody up at an airport or flown, and you had an estimated arrival or departure time?
Oh, my flight got delayed.
Oh, well, happens a lot.
I was so
I got
mad.
delayed 3 times and then canceled.
Yeah.
Oh,
geez.
Or was there a bad storm or something?
It was like they said it was like a tornado or something.
Oh, well, that happens.
Like right when we got on the plane, there was a tornado warning. I was like, man.
Yeah, that happens.
My flight got delayed like 6 hours. I was supposed to be home at like 7 o'clock at night, and I got home at like 4 in the morning. I
Those
got to
things
the
happen.
airport at 4 in the morning, and then we had to drive back to North Carolina, which I like 5 hours. So I got home at like 9.
Oh, well, sometimes when you travel somewhere, you get lucky and it says that you're supposed to arrive at 2 p.m. and maybe you get in at 1:30. All right. Why do you get back sooner than you were supposed to? Because of the tailwind. All right. Sometimes you get in a jet stream and the air causes the plane to travel faster than it could normally travel. Okay. Sometimes it's slower than it can normally go because of bad weather. Okay. So those things can slow a plane down or make the plane travel faster than it would normally travel. Okay. Now, the only thing we're going to do for our last remaining few minutes are 3 little word problems. If we do them in 4 minutes, then we'll be done faster. And I guess we'll go with Nigel's. We're going to chill. Okay. But we're going to do 3 word problems. Okay. Does everybody have my bad drawings, Mario?
Yes.
That's pretty self-explanatory.
All right. I don't know what I hit, but I don't want that. All right. Those 3 questions.
Wait, so what are the questions?
You couldn't reach that?
No. I thought I was going to walk all the way there. Prove me wrong again.
All right. We're doing those 3 word problems.
Are you right?
Put it back. I put it back. No, I took it.
Okay.
Who has a question?
Me.
Yes.
Number 2.
All right, so you're finding how long does it take? So are we finding speed, distance, or time? Okay, so we use our trusty formula. What's the speed in the question? And our distance is? You're gonna find G. Just taking a break today? You weren't here yesterday? Not gonna do anything today?
I did it all.
You're not gonna have the problems at
I
home.
just take a picture of them.
We're supposed to have fun.
Aria, you're gonna put me over the edge one of these days. I don't know the answer from the top off the top of my head, but based on what you have, I would guess that's correct. Unless you just punched the calculator wrong. Yes, yes. That's correct. I know the first two agree with Markel's. Because you're going with the current. They're both velocities. This is a combined velocity. You're going to add or subtract. Are they going the same direction or opposite directions? They're with the current. Yes.
We're trying to be on the floor to keep it.
Once we did those three, I quit. We have 5 minutes.
Which one?
5 minutes to check.
We keep it, we're gonna.
I'm just checking. Sorry, just let me see. Yes, you do. Now, in 1 and 3, did you put a direction on your answer?
Yeah.
If you didn't write a direction, you'd lose points. Yes, mile per hour. No, that's why we just walk around checking and see if you got it right. Then put your calculator on. And remember, if you need to do any work, missing work, you have test corrections you want to do, anything over here today and tomorrow. No. I do not want to do one of my feet today. Remember, I work 3 periods in a row on a break during lunch. It wasn't as bad when I had second period planning and had class break, but.
Quick, what do you got? 3 times.
Second break. I need a break. Yeah, I took second period, third period, fourth period.
Oh, dang.
And I need lunch break.
First lunch. Okay.
I get yelled at. I'm not allowed. Wait, did they choose before you? A lot of times. Third
Yeah, I
line.
don't get to vote on lunch, plan, nothing. Although I never want third period planning again. Because it's guaranteed to become a lunch student for an entire semester.
Also, planning, you gotta go to lunch.
If you get third period planning, you have lunch duty the entire semester. So I never want third period planning ever again.
That's what Ms. Baldwin did it wrong.
What year you doing?
I've never had it while Miss Curry's been the principal, so I never want.
So,
No, I've just been fortunate. But I've watched this director have it the whole semester, I watched Bowers have it the whole semester, I watched Colt when he was here have it the whole semester. I've been blessed, I've never had third period planning.
next
year, the last
year, they're gonna
I'm just praying, I never have third period planning. I'm just gonna cry, I'm so scheduling for rides and this says third period planning, I'm just gonna cry.
So did Ms. Gordon do it?
She's been fortunate in that every time she's had it, it's rotated A-Day, B-Day, because it's always rotated, she's not had it. She's not had one.
They're gonna be like, oh,
First semester of the year.
The whole thing, you're overdue for it. I get second period planning a lot, and I'm okay with second period planning.